Good morning and welcome to the Breakfast News this morning. On our headlines, state government assures of more support to road sector to sustain success in safety on roads. Work to recover the collapsed portions of Umuaru Road commences. Presidential panel recovers 19 official vehicles from retired public servants. And on the foreign scene, German troops commence first military exercise in Norway since end of Cold War. We begin from here in Anambra, where Governor Willie Obiano has called on road users to join hands with the state government and Road Safety Corps to promote safety on roads. Declaring the 2018 Road Safety Week Stakeholder Seminar open in Oka, Governor Obiano says safety on roads remain part of top priorities of his administration in line with the cardinal policy of protecting life and properties. Paul Ezoke the report.
According to statistics from the Road Safety Corps, 116 road traffic crashes were recorded in the state between January and August this year, out of which 47 people lost their lives and 335 others sustained various degrees of injuries. Governor Obiano, represented by the Permanent Secretary, Minister of Transport, Dr. Daniel Ezanwu, said there is need to sustain and intensify awareness campaign on safety measures to enlighten the public on how to remain safe on roads. He commended the FRSC for its remarkable achievements over the years and assured that the state government will continue to support the Corps with necessary logistics to achieve the desired goals.
This program is one that is there in the heart of the state governor, Chief Dr. Willie Obiano. The FRSC is one of our strongest allies because of the multiplicity of the linkage which the FRSC offers to the state security machinery. Has indeed necessary to extend befitting logistic support to the FRSC Anambra State Command.
The zonal commander of the Corps in charge of Benin Zone, Mr. Kehinde Adeleye, enjoined road users to obey traffic rules and avoid acts capable of endangering the lives of others. Mr. Adeleye commended the State Sector Command of the Corps for its outstanding performance over the years.
If we apply the wisdom we will gain from the topics to be discussed, yes, God will answer our prayers and we will see many more years.
Earlier, the State Sector Commander, Mr. Sonda Ajayi, said that the Road Safety Week is an annual week-long event during which the Corps and stakeholders brainstorm on road safety policies, challenges, and chart a way forward. Mr. Ajayi explained that the week with the theme Improving Road Safety in Anambra, the role of stakeholders, was carefully structured to tackle present challenges on roads and commended Governor Obiano for his sustained support to the Corps.
The 2018 Road Safety Week, which is the fourth in the series, is carefully packaged to serve a genuine purpose, considering the prevailing road infractions in the state and the need for all hands to be on deck to tackle the resultant monster called road traffic crash and the team improving road safety in Anambra State, the role of stakeholders.
The traditional ruler of Oka, Obi Gibson, also enjoined road users to respect others and to uphold patience and self-consciousness while on the road. In his presentation, the Director of State Fire Service, Mr. Martin Abele, urged motorists to have functional fire extinguishers always for personal and public safety. The seminar attracted representatives from the Army, Police, DSS, Navy, NDLA, and other stakeholders.
Agricultural weighing scale and 9 different agricultural textbooks on aquaculture worth thousands of naira have been distributed to 6 secondary and primary schools across 3 senatorial districts in the state for their outstanding performances in an agricultural project tagged Project Name Your Plant. The recognition, which was done during the project review meeting organized by the Ministry of Agriculture, Mechanization, Processing and Export in collaboration with the Ministry of Basic Education, Post-Primary School Service Commission and Anambra State Universal Basic Education Board, took place at the conference hall of ADP. Agri correspondent Ebeleze witnessed the review meeting and now reports.
Project Name Your Plant, otherwise known as Ugbo Mwakwukwo, is the brainchild of Governor Obiano as enshrined in the state agricultural blueprint, where every pupil and student is expected to have a plant emotionally attached to him or her. Speaking on the occasion, the Commissioner for Agriculture, Mechanization, Processing and Export, Mr. Famumbanefo, said every school is expected to plant minimum of 200 economic trees, which according to him will also aid in curbing erosion. Mr. Mbanefo stated that 16 schools participated in the pilot edition because of their passion and available land.
In partnership with the Minister of Education, this will become a strategy that somehow driving emotions with development of agriculture, using the kids who we think are greater tomorrow, and we'll begin to talk about agriculture. Because you can see when you get around the schools now, you identify their plants, they're so happy, they come back, they tell their parents how good the plants are flowering, how they've grown, and so that joy, that passion is getting there now.
The Agricultural Development Program ADP manager, Mr. Jude Nwankwo, said the project is part of the new ways fashioned out by the ministry to take agribusiness to the next level and reduce youth's restiveness.
What we are talking in Anambra State, the business we are doing in Anambra State is agriculture. You are aware that Your Excellency Dr. Willie Obiano made agriculture his #1 pillar. Actually, in line with that, we wanted to actually look inwards and then know exactly the best way to carry agriculture to the next level.
The Director of Extension ADP and facilitator of the project, Mrs. Ifeyunwa Uzoka, called on the Ministry of Basic Education, Post-Primary School Service Commission, and Anambra State Universal Basic Education Board to nominate more schools, as the ministry is committed to bequeathing best agronomic practices and skills to the students for a lifetime livelihood, income generation, and job opportunities.
We are already present as the extension arm to spread the best practices in cultivating these crops. And therefore, as long as we work in tandem with the Ministry of Education and ASUBEB, and we are working with them, we are expecting them to nominate more schools.
For some of the participants, Mrs. Mary Obi, agric teacher from Community Secondary School Orifite, Mrs. Uchem Bekwe, an agric teacher at Anglican Girls Ogidi, and their counterpart from Obaro High School, Obakoba. The project exposed the students to lots of agricultural skills. They promised to establish Young Farmers Club in their schools. Presentation of the gift and lecture by the zonal manager ADP Onitsha, Mr. Emmanuel Nabweze, formed the high points of the review meeting. We just rose from Project Name Your Tree review meeting, and I ask, have you named your tree? If you have not, name one today, as I have named mine. From the Agricultural Development Program Office in Oka, I am Ebele Eze, reporting for ABS News.
Work has commenced on the collapsed Omuawuru Road Bridge as promised by the state government. Work correspondent Ngozi Obileri visited the site and brings details.
When ABS arrived at the site, men of the Anambra State Road Maintenance Agency were seen carrying out massive work on the road. Activities like filling of the gully that brought about the collapse with sack sand and stones, while heavy-duty vehicles were seen tripping sands and leveling same. Speaking on the development, the traditional ruler of the community, Igwe Joel Egwonwu, thanked government for responding promptly as promised, saying that Anambra is blessed with a government that listens to the yearnings of the people.
Over 50%. We are expecting that in the next few days, the road will be ready. Thank God for the government, and we still seriously working.
In their separate speeches, an indigene of the community, Mrs. Cecilia Ezofia, and a visitor to the community, Mrs. Azomta Abafela, who expressed appreciation to the governor for the quick response, described the move by the government as caring. Meanwhile, keke drivers are now utilizing the opportunity to make brisk businesses as a journey to Umuawulu, which formerly entails boarding a tricycle to their destination, is now a two-stop journey. While the passengers are picked from Ekenibo and dropped at one end of the road, another tricycle picks them up to their final destination, thereby saving them the stress of journeying through Isiago before getting to Umuawulu. The situation has further demonstrated that Igbos can survive in any circumstance. Igwe Gwanwu also appreciated use of the community for the move. From Umuawulu in Oka South Council area, I am Ngozi Obileri for ABS News.
It was celebration galore as stakeholders and friends of Chief Ekene Nefe in Oyi and Ayamelum Federal Constituency bought expression of interest and nomination forms under the platform of All Progressive Grand Alliance, APGA. The event, which took place at Chief Nefe's compound, Obunike, Oyi local government area, attracted some stakeholders and friends of the politician as well as government officials. Correspondent Chibuzo Bidike has the report.
The forms to Chief Nefe, who is aspiring to represent the people of Oyi and Ayamelum Federal Constituency, the Deputy Transition Committee Chairman of Ayamelum Local Government Area, Honorable Icheka Anibogu, said that friends and stakeholders in the Federal Constituency bought the forms for Chief Nefe as part of their support and solidarity for his mission and desire to represent them at the Green Chamber of the National Assembly. Honorable Anibogu further maintained that they have critically examined all the aspirants jostling to represent the constituency in the 2019 general election and found Chief Nefe as the most credible, qualified and reliable to speak for their people in the National Assembly, which necessitated their action.
This is an expression of interest from Gojezola House of Representatives, because now I have to go record Nanjo Megureme without public office. Where man or not get representative of.
In their various remarks, the Senior Special Assistant to the Governor on Local Government Affairs, Mr. Uche Odiele, and the one-time Executive Chairman of Oyi Local Government Area, Honorable Olise Lokailezue, equally described Chief Nefe as the best man for the job, owing to his unrivaled antecedents, and pledged their total support to him.
We have looked around, we have not seen any credible and capacity, somebody that has capacity to represent Oyi and Ayamelum. We found all the qualities we desired in a Ekene Nefe.
Having looked at the personalities that are coming out for the for the slots, for the context in the local government, we feel that Ekene Nefe, Chief Ekene Nefe, is the most qualified and suitable to go for that position, and that's why we are supporting him.
Responding, Chief Nefe, who was full of gratitude to God, thanked them for the honor done him and promised that if elected, he will comprehensively and holistically change the political fortunes of the federal constituency, which he said is in their need of numerous dividends of democracy.
Even Gunu Tata Guna Ojijem to Abuja Gadiche Nandino Fugo Meje Kanje Wetu na Ayamelum.
Chief Nefe and his supporters later paid a courtesy call to the traditional ruler of Obunike, Igwe John Ositade Mumenyora, and that of his interjet counterpart, Igwe Rolando Debo, where Chief Nefe briefed the monarchs about the honor done him, and the two monarchs blessed and prayed for him for God to grant his heart desires. From Obunike, it's been Chibuzo Okoye for ABS News.
A bungalow of 3 flats with properties worth millions of naira has been razed down by fire in Agbana village, Umuawulu, in Oka South local government area, destroying the hope that are on plane to pay the last respect to the deceased. Chibuzo Bidike has a report.
The flat was reduced to ashes as a result of high voltage of electricity, according to the residents, started around 2:00 p.m. on Thursday and raged on into the evening. The building was recently renovated ahead of a planned burial ceremony by the family affected by the fire disaster. Speaking to the ABS at the scene of the incident, Mrs. Anthony Nwoye and Mr. Silin Nweke, who revealed that the building, which was recently renovated for the upcoming burial ceremony of their late mother, said the fire started shortly after the Enugu Electricity Distribution Company restored power and attributed it to high voltage of power, appealing for urgent support from relevant stakeholders and authorities to come to their aid. While thanking God that no life was lost, the traditional ruler of Umawolo, Igwe Joel Egwonwu, pointed out that the fire has shattered the family's hope of livelihood, as their documents, lifetime investments, were also lost to the inferno, and appealed to state governments and well-meaning individuals to assist them with any little way they can.
We na agba mbọ ka edozie nya ụlọ ka fa wee nwee ike kpọọ ozi onye nwụrụ anwụ ọkụ wee bịa wee gbakwa onye bụ so na ana m ayọ gọvanọ anyị bụ Chief Dr. Obi na akpọkọ dike ọ gbatara fọsọ enyemaka maka ha nọ na nsogbu wee bakwa na nsogbu so na nsogbu karịrị fa ana m ayọ enyemaka ọ bụrụ sọ gọvanọ ma gọọmenti onye ọ na nwere aka oge nyere fa.
When contacted, State Director of the Fire Service, Engineer Martin Agbili, who sympathized with the victims over the incidents, reminded the state residents to be alert always as fire disaster occurs both in rainy and harmattan seasons, and registered displeasure with residents who fails to use the emergency number of the fire service for quick intervention, stating categorically that their services is free as it is a humanitarian work. From Umawolo in Awka South Local Government Area, Chibuzo Obidike, ABS News.
It is still the breakfast news on ABS television. When we come back from the break, presidential panel recovers 9 official vehicles from retired public servants. Stay tuned.
Anambra, Ekenemono.
Hi people, this is your favorite Igbolicious babe, Rachel Okonkwo, aka Nkoli Wansuga.
My name's John Ikechukwoga.
I am Honorable Dr. P.T. Bida, member representing Njikoka 2 in Anambra State House of Assembly.
Afambo Nze Uche Nwora, Managing Director, CEO, Anambra Broadcasting Service.
My name is Colette Madike, beauty queen, filmmaker, and you're watching.
You are watching
Inekili
ABS TV.
Never you ever touch that dial.
Keep watching ABS. Alabama, yeah, like that.
It is ABS TV. All the time. ABS.
ABS, the heartbeat. The Special Presidential Panel for the Recovery of Public Property has handed over 19 official vehicles it recently recovered for the National Population Commission. The vehicles were retrieved from former commissioners of the NPC who allegedly made away with them after their tenures in office. The chairman of the panel, Mr. Okoy Obono-Obla, handed over the vehicles to officials of the commission at a brief ceremony. Mr. Obono-Obla said the recovery followed a tip-off by a member of the staff of the commission to the panel in March. He noted that the commissioners were not supposed to live with official property having benefited from government's monetization policy. The panel chairman said that should be a warning to all other public servants, including him, to desist from converting official property to personal use. While noting that all public property belongs to the government and people of Nigeria, he said the Buhari government would not tolerate such acts. Responding, the Director of Census in the Commission, Mr. Liman Baba, who received the vehicles on behalf of the chairman, Mr. Ezeduri Homa, commended the panel for its good job. Baba said the recovery would go a long way in easing the challenges of logistics facing the Commission. The recovered vehicles are mostly sports utility vehicles built by local automaker Innocent Vehicle Manufacturing Company. We move over to the foreign scene near where German troops and vehicles has arrived in Norway for the largest exercise on NATO's northern flank since the Cold War, a sign that the alliance wants to sharpen its defenses against Russia after years of courts and far-flung combat missions. Russia said last week that it plans to hold its biggest war games since the fall of Soviet Union next month, together with the Chinese and Mongolian armies. Norwegian Defense Minister Frank Bakke-Jensen told newsmen as he watched the hulking Germania vessel unload 244 vehicles and other equipment, said NATO was increasingly worried about Russia, which in 2014 annexed Crimea from Ukraine, centered in Norway. The Trident Juncture exercise will bring together 40,000 troops from over 30 NATO countries and their partners, conducting air, sea and land operations from Finland and the Baltic Sea in the east to Iceland in the west. Lieutenant Nicholas Bauhammer, leading a logistics company of 60 German soldiers, said a dozen more ships were due for Germany in the next few weeks and 70 vessels overall. Normally, based in Delmhorst in northern Germany, Bauhammer and his team were among the first to arrive in Norway and will be around until December. And on sports, Spanish La Liga giants Real Madrid has unveiled Nigerian-born attacking midfielder Marvin Olawale Akinlabi Park as part of their youth setup. Marvin Olawale, 18-year-old, was born in year 2000 in Palma de Mallorca in Spain. He is of a Nigerian father and South Korean mother. A statement on the Real Madrid website confirms his inclusion in the Real Madrid youth setup. It reads, unquote, "An attacking-minded midfielder is a danger when he joins the attack. His ability is one-on-one situations also makes him a threat. He took his first steps in the game in his native Berwick, Iceland, and possesses a very direct style which fully exploits his pace and power. He also has fine ability with both feet." End of quote. Before he moved to the famed Real Madrid Castilla in 2016, Marvin had his development at various club sides, such as Sporting Ciudad de Palma, Trama Rivers, Sporting Ciudad de Palma, La Salle, and S. Jonquet Peña Arabal. Still in his formative years as a professional footballer, Marvin is eligible to play for 3 countries: Nigeria through his father, South Korea through his mother, and Spain where he was born. Remember that you can listen to news and current affairs on ABS 88.5 FM from any part of the world by logging on to our website, www.absradiotv.com. Like us at www.facebook.com/absradiotelevision. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram on ABS Radio TV. Now the main point before we go. State government has assured of more support to road sector in sustaining success registered in safety on roads. Work to recover the collapsed portions of Omaru Road has commenced. Presidential panel has recovered 19 official vehicles from retired public servants. And on the foreign scene, we brought you that German troops have commenced first military exercise in Norway since end of the Cold War. On behalf of the team that brought you this news, I am David Okwakwasile, thanking you for joining us. Remember, the weekend show continues after now.